Here's my ranking of all the Spider-Man movies from worst to best. Let's get into it, man. It was really hard to pick a worst Spider-Man movie because I'm keeping it a band. I love all of them, but Far From Home, you're gonna have to take this one. That doesn't mean this movie wasn't good, because I think every Spider-Man movie to a certain extent is good, you feel what I'm saying? But I think this one just bored me a little bit too much. Some of the plot points I didn't like him not being in New York. I thought Mysterio was great. I thought the ending was great, but there was a certain part at the beginning and the middle where I was like, damn. Especially on rewatch, bro. Rewatch this movie, you're like, damn, this is not that good. And it's a damn shame, because initially when this first came out, I loved this movie, but dang, it just is not as good as I remember. Next up, though, I got The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't hate this one either. This movie just had way too much going on, bro. Way too many villains. They couldn't balance the plot lines together. But the ending of the movie, though, is so damn good that I had to put it over Far From Home. I remember where I was, genuinely. I remember being in my room, watching the TV when I saw Gwen Stacy smack the ground like a yo-yo or something. Okay. This movie has so much potential, too. Just like Spider-Man 3, but not gonna lie, Spider-Man 3 is a little bit higher than this. I think it did it better. Next up, though, I'm gonna have TASM 1. I really like this one a little bit more than TASM 2, especially the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Mwah, man! Those two were made to work together. But I just don't know how I feel about Peter Parker being the skater, cool boy. Like, isn't that nigga supposed to be a nerd? Andrew Garfield, he was too good looking to be Peter Parker, for keeping it a band. Like, that nigga looked like he had swag. I would not believe he's getting bullied. I believe he's the bully. I also just don't know how I feel about the Lizard being the villain of this movie. I feel like they could have chose somebody different. They could have chose someone better. But if I'm keeping it a band, I'm not a real big Lizard fan. So maybe that's just me. No, I said Spider-Man 3 is higher than TASM 2, but not by much, bro. It's 2 spots higher. I'm standing on business when it comes to this movie, though. This is the most overhated Spider-Man movie of all time. I know it was a mess. If I'm keeping it a band, I know it was a mess. And maybe this is childhood me, because this is probably the first Spider-Man movie I remember seeing. I remember seeing clips of Spider-Man 1. I remember seeing all of Spider-Man 3 on TV on FX, bro. We got the movies, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the black suit Spider-Man. I don't know if it was seeing him fight Sandman. I don't know if it was Green Goblin. I don't know what it was about this movie, but I just really liked it, if I'm keeping it a band. Even Bully Maguire, yes. Even Bully Maguire, when I was a kid, I wouldn't say I thought that was cool, but I didn't think it was as cringe as people do nowadays. I'll never forget when they had the nigga Topher Grace, Eric Foreman, go to church and pray to God to murk Peter Parker. That is the craziest line in all of television, in all of movies, in all of cinema history. This is where I'm gonna have people pissed off at me. Spider-Man 2, I know it's at number 6, it's too low. This is probably the Spider-Man movie that I watched the least when I was growing up. I think I've literally seen this movie once, if I'm keeping it a band. And I thought that the story was good. I really like him versus Doc Ock. That ending was amazing. But it has no nostalgia for me. I watched it the least. I just like a lot more Spider-Man movies more than this. Simple. That doesn't take away from the movie. It's a good movie, man. Calm down. I know, especially what movie I got next, people finna be pissed. But yeah, I have Spider-Man Homecoming above Spider-Man 2. Go fight with me in the comments, man. Let's talk about it. Now, on the real though, if I'm being honest, you'll probably win the argument, like movie-wise. It wouldn't surprise me. Spider-Man 2 is probably a better movie. But I like Spider-Man Homecoming more. It means more to me as a person. And this is my list, not yours. So I don't give a damn what you gotta say, nigga. Okay, let me chill. Now, on the real, I've already mentioned this before. I'm gonna mention it again. Seeing Peter Parker not only return to Marvel, but return to the MCU in such a grand way, especially after Civil War, when he had probably the best Spider-Man performance of all time. Man, I was out of the moon hype for this movie, and I think it lived up to the hype in my opinion. I felt like Tony Stark's inclusion in the movie made a lot of sense. Yeah, they could have done more to make Spider-Man actually shine, if I'm being honest. They didn't have to make him look so boyish, so childish all the time, but I think at the end, seeing his growth throughout the movie, it makes it worth it in my opinion. Plus, we get a great performance from the Vulture. Michael Keaton was in his bag. Now, this is where the nostalgia comes in for me, because I got the OG Spider-Man at number 4. What is there not to love about this movie? William Dafoe with a career-making performance. Tobey Maguire was born to play this role. He had so much swag with it. Him in the fucking boxing wrestling ring. I'll never forget that scene, man. Aunt May killed it. Kristen Dunst killed it. Everything about this movie is nostalgic. And I feel like it hits to this day. Like, I remember watching this a couple years ago, and I was like, damn, this movie, did it get better? Should we even argue about my top 3? This better be everybody's top 3. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will never go sour on No Way Home. I was literally just thinking about this in the shower, bro. Is that TMI? But No Way Home will forever be instant history, bro. We really got 3 generations of Spider-Man in the same movie. Sometimes I think we underrate that, I'm not gonna lie. Not only did we get that, but at the end of the day, it's still focused on the main story of the main Spider-Man that we have right now. ended his story, and proceeded to start a new one. Generational. I'm not gonna waste your time and keep you here all night though when it comes to the next two. Into is gonna be my number 2. Now Cross is gonna be my number 1. It's that simple. I'm not gonna explain it. If you haven't seen them, what the hell? If you have seen them and you don't think they're top 2, I might need to slap you. But yeah, man, that's my Spider-Man ranking. I want to know what y'all think in the comments down below. W list, L list, and of course, you know I want to see y'all list, man. Let's talk about this in the comments down below, because you know we gotta talk about it. Simple.